Alright, this is a book I've actually been really excited to get into. Moon Knight's Director's Cut by David Finch. I think, yeah, Danny Mickey? Yeah, I get that right. Danny Mickey did the inks on this. Obviously, this was released between Moon Knight 1 and Moon Knight 3. But, what makes this a little bit different than the Spawn Director's Cut that we went over not too long ago is this is not a black and white edition. Even though the cover is kind of deceptive where it kind of tails off here into the pencils, which I think is actually a really cool concept. You got the original cover here, just for comparison, which showing a really cool aspect of David Finch's pencils right there. So, let me get this out of here. All right, let's open this up. I was always actually a big fan of Moon Knight, um, but I actually really hadn't followed the character for a long time. Man, that's just a look at that shot right there. That is absolutely beautiful. I, no words. In any case, here we get into you know I haven't read this comic in a while, and flipping through it for the first time the other day, I was just really noticing one how excellent this is drawn, which is why I wanted to go over this. Because I think this is one of David Finch's best. Well, he's done a lot of great art, but oh man, look at that! Just the amount of time and detail goes into a two-page spread like this, and that dynamic of a shot. I mean, when you're looking straight up at Moon Knight as he's diving down, you got the buildings on either side. Um, it's just, I mean, let's turn this. I'm gonna turn this sideways for a second. If you get a different, there you go. There's a really good shot at the buildings right there. And just feast your eyes on that for a second. If you gotta pause it. But just look at that. Perspective is awesome. I mean, he's just amazing at this kind of stuff. And this was coming off of, was he doing Avengers before this? Um, but this whole Moon Knight run that he did, I don't know, it was 12 issues, or I think it's some of his best work. Just really good at facial expressions. And this, I love how he paneled this out. It's really heavily, I mean, cool thing about books like this is they're night books, so you can really pour in a lot of the blacks because there's a lot of shadows, and that adds to the intensity of it. That's a really cool shot. The colors on this book are great too. You know, one thing I never really liked. I'm not sure when they started doing this, but the whole blur effect, I that got popular for a while. I think they still use it. I'm not really a huge fan of it, but man, on the right here, this is a really cool layout page. It really, if you just kind of follow through it, it really builds up the intensity. It's almost like when a victim is getting stalked by a serial killer or a slasher in a movie, except in this aspect, he's a bad guy and he's a hero, but he's getting closer and closer, and you're trapped in his car, and you know that he's about to come and do bad things to you. And it's just the way that they build this up, the way he panels it out to the climactic end is really well done. It's an awesome eye right there. Just, and again, kind of more on the color aspect of that. Just really kind of brought that out, glowing effect. Man, that's. I think David Finch was great at doing really cool poses, and he was awesome about doing the cross hatching and the feathering, and his work in the shadows. And he does this probably maybe the best. You know, I could say that, you know, maybe the best in the industry with disappearing things into shadows, and just really bringing it out, just really in depth. again, I really think this is one of those, you coming off of Top Cow and everything he did over there, and going to Marvel and getting like a second chance at a career. And, he did really good things with the Avengers, but I think this book was one of those middle finger to everybody he thought maybe gave up on him, because he does some things in this book. For instance, I love how you're coming out of a memory here, and he tails off with this window, and you see the window in his eye, and you pull back to reveal his eye, and it's just a really, really cool look, and it just shows you that the memory's going away, and we're coming back, just panning back into reality, and he's just sitting there in a chair. I'd have to read this series again, because I don't know if this series bounced back and forth from future and past, because I do believe there on the left page that that's actually something that happens either in issue 2 or issue 3. But anyway, getting back to David Finch, I really feel like this was like a statement issue. All these issues, but specifically this one. You're coming out, you're doing work this fantastic throughout the entire book, and this entire book is drawn. I mean, I hate to say perfectly, but from my point of view, this book gets me excited. It got me excited when I first saw it published years ago, and it gets me excited now. It's one of those inspirational books that makes you want to instantly hit the drawing table and start drawing yourself, because it was just that good. This was just another great shot to end the book. Let's look at all the detail. And Finch was great at doing the textures. I've tried to adopt some of that technique into my own work, but it takes some time to get down, but he was great at doing the textures. Yeah, one more time look at this, because that was always a cool poster. And I'm pretty sure that was a poster. I think I had that at one point. It's just such an awesome shot right there. We'll just take a few more looks here at some of these. I mean, he just knocked it out of the park with this issue. Just did so many really, really cool things, pleasing to the eye. So okay, here we go with the director's cut version. So here they actually give you the script, which is really cool if you're an artist, a young artist, learning how to go from script to sequential page. So you can actually read through this, you can see what the writer was wanting, then you can flip back and see how David Finch approached it, and how he drew it out. Here you go, some of his original pencils right there. And that just shows you how clean line art David Finch is. I mean, it shows you how great of an inker Danny Mickey is as well. And yeah, there you go. There's that black and white. That thing is, I mean, in color it's great, but in black and white, maybe you've noticed it or not, but I'm kind of partial to the black and white, or the straight pencils. I just love how that looks. Yeah, look at that. Simply amazing. Stuff like this just blows me away, because you're watching an artist kind of reach a different level when you put out a book like this, and you can track his work from Top Cow through the Avengers to now, or now as far as when this book was done. And Finch, he's still a great artist. He's changed his style up a little bit now that he's with DC and doing more Batman stuff. I think some of his work's a little bit more clean. And, maybe you gotta back off some of that to keep those monthly dates going and get those books out on time. Still a fantastic artist, but he was just doing something special. He was doing something special with Moon Knight, and I think you can see it when you're flipping through this book. It's a great book, great series. Go out and find it. Go out and collect every issue that David Finch did of Moon Knight. Find this director's cut, because it really is informational. for young artists with how to draw comics and how to take it from a script. So thank you for checking out this video. Give me a like, subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.